Hey, welcome to Speaking of Rio. It is me, Frank. I'm going to have Carlos come in a minute. Hey, listen, today's Wednesday, June 5th. What are we going to talk about? You know us, we talk about everything and anything there is. So, whatever you have coming on, go ahead and think your topics because we're going to get them.
Got something to say, no matter the topic. Then come and join us on the Speaking It.
Yo, we're back. It's Wednesday, and I got Carlos with me. What? Look at that, Carlos. What are you doing? Now you got fireworks, you got confetti.
Celebration here.
What the hell has been going on with you, my friend? How's the week been?
Been good, man. Been good. Can't complain too much. Kind of busy with work, trying to keep business afloat. Market slowing down. So good time to just kind of come on the show and shoot the shit. We need to create like a chant, and I'm sure I can figure this out with AI now, where you know how in game shows when they say there's a certain part of the show coming on, everybody can scream it out and repeat it. We need that as a soundboard. Like shout the shit.
Hey man, I'm sure
We'll figure it out.
You know what? So as I'm going along, sending the show to my sister and stuff like that, I just realized something.
What?
You know that COVID is still a thing?
Yes, it is still a thing. And now I hear bird flu is going to be the next boogeyman.
No fucking way.
That's right. We have our first death in Mexico. So now everyone must hide in their homes. Da-da-da.
Again?
They're going to try that shit again.
Hey,
election's coming.
So for those of you that are getting on, if you have a topic that you want us to discuss, whatever it is, whether, hey, you went to the bathroom and you didn't fucking like it or whatever the hell you want.
Damn.
You know what?
Wow, we're talking about a flexible ass show.
That's absolutely.
Wow.
You know, listen, we cover everything from politics, sports, to mental health, to what is the best what do you call it? What is the best?
The best.
Yeah, what is the best? I
agree.
I'm missing what it is right now, man. You know,
what's
the best platform?
Deleted.
Yeah, man. Listen, I'm trying to figure out what the heck's going on right now. I don't think I'm playing on Rumble. Okay, yeah, we're playing on Rumble. We're good. All right. Gotta make sure that we're playing on Twitch.
Gotta have
Rumble. Our people on Twitch and stuff. You know, Rumble's I think might be the new way to go, man. They're beating out beating out YouTube. I think I'm starting to like it better.
I like it. YouTube is up to their bullshit again with censoring people and all that crap, and I'm not having that nonsense. No bueno. They can kiss my gluteus. Nope. Not
so having it. You know what? This is right, and I think for the better part of the past 3 years,
Right.
when it comes down to June, we've been talking about Pride Month.
Ah, yes, it is upon us.
Okay, Pride
Everything
Month
on
is
my
up.
internet is rainbows.
Rainbows and butterflies.
Everything's rainbows.
So I mean, can it be better? Can it be worse? Probably.
Frank, I don't know how much you frequent X or Twitter, um, but I tend to treat Twitter as like we should treat political polls, right? Where is it a true representation of everybody? No. In fact, it's a small representation. But like polling, you have a small sample size. You can get an idea of how things are, right? So, what I am noticing is, I mean, you have the usual supporters who are out there and Pride Hooray. But now I have noticed a bit of a growing sentiment of people basically saying, enough, we get it. And, you know, I guess, like I also heard, like the NFL, 11 teams this year decided not to release official pride statements or anything like that. Like they're just kind of staying out of it. So now I guess there's a slowly growing sentiment that people are not that they're against it, but like they feel like, okay, they're bombarded by it and they're kind of like saying, hey, enough. What's your take on that? Do you think we as a society over pride?
I think so. I think what society's been trying to do is do a lot more because of what wasn't done in the past.
So we're overcompensating, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. I think we are. I mean, look, are we in a different times that we were in back, fuck, even 10 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 20, 30 years ago when we were growing up, it was always kept very, very, very hush hush. I mean, I remember my mom had a gay friend. I can't remember his name right now, but this guy was just flamed out. But it was always, no, no, you don't talk about this person being gay. We all knew he was gay, but you didn't talk about it, whether it was frowned upon, whether it's whatever it was. You just didn't talk about it. And I think that through the years it evolved. Some people started coming out a little more, some a little less, and now people that were scared that were in the closet, now everybody came out, and there's an overabundance of LGBT people. There's an
Right.
overabundance. I think society itself, doesn't want to hurt nobody's feelings, by excluding somebody. But at the end of the day, somebody's always gonna get excluded. And I'm gonna say this, and whether it comes back and bite me in the ass, it comes back and bite me in the ass. But hey, but you know what? Nobody celebrates straight people.
I've seen that argument
You
on
know,
X quite a bit. When are we gonna have a straight month?
you know.
What
So,
about straight pride?
so look, Sandra, I respect them. I'm all for love and let love live. But please stop forcing it on us. And when I say forcing it, I mean stop making these teams make sense, make statements, especially when players on teams don't have the same beliefs. Stop putting it in shows for kids when they should just be learning about skills, morals, and life lessons, not
Ooh,
sexuality. That's his stance. And you know
she's
what?
taking it. She's taking it to a
He,
level I wasn't even like
he,
there yet, but she's going
yeah,
even deeper. Mm-hmm. Go on. Wait, you know
Sandra.
what? Apologies, Sander. I thought you said Sandra. I wasn't looking at the picture when you started reading. Sorry, Sander. My bad.
but but you know what? Look, let's break it down. He makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's been forced upon, and you know what? You could take this even further into religion if you want, also. Because everything nowadays is getting forced on you. You
Ooh.
have to you have to,
Thank you.
accept it. You have to deal with it. You know what? At at the end of the day, you don't have to accept it. I do think you have to respect it. You know,
Okay. All right.
and and in the sense of we all we all want to be treated the same regardless of what we are, what we stand for, what we look for. And it goes back again. You can use religion in it, you can use anything. You could, because at the end of the day, we're all human, we're all people. You do good, you get good. you know you give good, you should be able to get good back. And people that don't, you know what, you just go click and you cut them off.
Well, that's
you know
the
but
easy way of describing it. um, so then you feel that it's getting a little overboard, and Sander feels the same way. And to an extent, though, he's taking it now to that level where it's being like it's showing up in classrooms, and you have a lot of teachers. Now, here's the thing. Again, going back to what I said about X, which to me is a great news source, and not saying that everything is true, though. You got to verify, but if you see it mentioned, you can do a little homework. So X is also good at highlighting all of the incidences of a said event. So you are likely to see every single teacher that broadcasts some kind of pride something in their classroom, or they share their opinions about how they like to teach their elementary students about the differences in people and pride, and it just, that whole spiel. But again, it's a small microcosm within a large world where it's not happening. So we have to be careful about the sensation of, oh, it's happening too much. It may not be, but it's happening. And like anything else, as it happens more and more, it gets bigger. It's like an infection. I hate to use, I'm not trying to say pride is an infection, but I don't have a better analogy. But
right.
like anything else, it starts small and it'll start to spread if you don't treat something. And so if you're against that, having all the pride flags and the pride lessons and the teachers kind of overexposing children to it in class, then yeah, you'll see it in more classrooms. So, and Sander kind of went down that road, but what I am definitely noticing, like, and it's a shame too, because when you start feeling like something's getting thrown in your face too much, animosity begins. And the very thing that community has been striving to fight for, it's safe to say they've achieved it. But now with people beginning to feel annoyed by it, it's almost like now they're like taking one step forward and then two of them back. And we don't want that to happen either. So I don't know how we find that happy medium where we can celebrate something. Now, it's not even specifically pride. Pick anything that you feel is not part of the norm of society, but it's because we're trying to be inclusive. We're trying to bring it in. But at some point we say, hey, enough's enough. And pride is definitely one of those things that are now beginning to get that pushback. And it doesn't help when TV shows are constantly being created or recreated, and people feel that the agenda is shoved into everything. I mean, I've done some math, and I've even talked to my son about this, and we remember my son is a member of the community, where I told him, I said, listen, I'm all for representation, but if I still understand correctly, the alphabet community still represents, I think, 2-3% of the population. And yet, if you watch, especially like Netflix or Disney, you watch 3 different shows, each one, maybe 1/3 of the cast is like part of the community, and that's like 33%. I'm like, it's not that rampant. There aren't that many. That's not how, but they want to be representative. Really? And then you start doing the math, and I've told him, I'm like, I can't have one show or 2 shows where at least half the cast is gay, because that's not real. That's not really how it
Mhm.
goes. That's not how the numbers work out. And that's when people start to get that sensation of, my God, it's everywhere. And then you start getting resentment. So I don't know.
Well,
But of course, like anything else, when you feel like you've got a voice finally, what do? You scream louder. So I don't
yeah,
know.
but
We're
I
going
think
to be,
it's going far. I mean, look, Sandra also puts that grade grade school teachers should not be allowed to talk about sexuality pre-K all the way through middle school. That topic shouldn't be
you know who
touched.
he agrees with, right, Frank? You know who that sounds like?
Sorry, but leave that for high schoolers. I don't need my 5 and 8-year-old being read to by a man in drag. Sorry, I know it sounds harsh, but that's just not acceptable. Yes, I'm going to
You know
tell
who he
you who he
sounds like,
sounds.
right? I mean, I've heard these words before. What's his name,
Yes,
Frank? Help me out here. Come
Ron
on, man.
DeSantis.
There you go.
Again, no. But if you notice his comment here, should sorry, but leave that for high school. I agree with him on that. I agree that you know what, leave it for the high schoolers. Maybe the 8th grade, middle school kids.
Mm.
But it shouldn't be touched. And I think being touched at high school, the topic is probably a better place
But
to
see,
be
here's the thing,
touched at.
Frank. Let me ask you a question. I assume that, and again, I don't have a lesson plan. I don't know how they would do it. If you're going to teach about LGBTQ in high school, what you're essentially teaching is that there are people who just have, interests in others that are, like not the norm, I guess, or not common. So yes, there are boys who like boys, girls who like girls. I get that. But let's be honest, and I'm calling a spade here. Why high school? Why anywhere? Did you or I ever learn about um like relationships like that? We learned about sex. We learned about it from a biological standpoint. We were told how the male body, the female body, what they consist of, how they work together, what they do when they work together. We learned that. But I don't recall ever having a conversation in any class about falling in love and getting married with a woman and all that stuff. That wasn't part of any curriculum. Why should this the LGBTQ in schools? Why should that be there? We didn't get that education for heterosexuals. We got biology, if I recall correctly. Am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right. I don't
So
recall
okay,
ever receiving
so
that.
we weren't told about getting married. We weren't told find the right woman or man, whatever. We were told about biology. Now, if they want to go that route in high school, that's fine, I guess. um, I guess because I'm not gay, it just kind of strikes me as odd, but that is what it is, right?
I mean, look,
So
if they're going to speak, and again, I don't. What I was saying is that if they speak about it, is where I agree with Sandra, right? It's going to be done. It should be done in high school. I don't agree with it elementary school or middle school. Okay, I do. I don't think they need to be talking about relationships in high school. Okay, whether it's male to male, female to female, or
yeah, because we didn't talk
female
about
to
them, at
male.
least not with our
But
teachers. We didn't
okay,
get an
those are
education on
life.
that.
Listen, when you had a little girlfriend in high school or even middle school, no one said
Oh,
anything about it.
that's
Well,
what you
that's your
call
personal
hands on. We were learning that
yeah,
way.
right.
We were not
And
being
you know
taught in
what? And
schools.
that's okay. That's okay. Whether it happens, you know, whether it's in middle school or high school or whatever, that's
Mhm.
okay. It happens. Society nowadays is it's turning they're turning a page and we're looking at things very differently. Now, it's like I said at the beginning of this topic, is you see it more and more. They're out there in the open, which if you want to be out there in the open, again, be out there in the open. I don't have a problem with that. I'm perfectly okay with that. I you respect my boundaries, I respect yours. Maybe maybe them seeing me kiss a woman is disgusting. Okay, I think when two men kiss, I don't like that.
Right. right.
So at the end of the day, you know what? I don't have to like it.
So
I just
then
gotta.
back to Sanders' point, or even I'm taking it a step further. Why discuss it in school at all? Unless we're going to talk about it from a biological standpoint, which would definitely raise some eyebrows.
Yeah, I mean, I
But here's
don't.
it. Yeah.
I've never agreed with it in the sense of I think my whole stance, because I had a huge stance on DeSantis about this. Okay, when he's
Did you
fucking
say his name right? That's amazing. I'm so proud of you.
all right, so because that's when the hormones start ramping up. But it's not about relationships. I'm talking about. I'm talking about it sexually.
Like when
Like
you
when you feel attractions for someone in high schoolers now are way different from what you guys were and what I was. It was it's just different. It's just different times. Absolutely.
it's
I
different times, but I think the end game is still the same. We're figuring out our natural impulses toward another person. In most cases, it's the opposite sex. For some, it isn't. But it wasn't anything that was in schools, and so even though the alphabet community has their representations like flag colors and things like that, um, you know, why? We know they're there. We know they're out there. We know they exist. There's no need for. I don't think there's a need for the blast of it in the classrooms like some teachers are doing, and even in high school. I mean, again, just keep it to biological, and anybody obviously, but all of us throughout high school and after, we figure it out one way or another. We figure it out, and so I don't know, but yes, you do have now. I know that I'm also going to hear the other side of it, which is yes, we did Sander, but that's my point. Sex ed was about like the physical aspects of the bodies and how they worked and what they did. It wasn't so much about love and relationships and who we like and who we don't like. It was just, this is male, this is female, this is what they do, this is what they do, this is what they have, that's all it was. It was not much more than that. So I'm still maybe trying to understand. I know the one thing that they're gonna that the rebuttal to this conversation is gonna be, we're teaching acceptance. That's why we're doing it. We need to make sure that there's no discrimination, there's no bigotry and all that stuff, and that's fine. But to Sanders' point, hey, Lacey, to Sanders' point, I guess, when do we say when? Like, when is too much? When is too much too much? And so that goes back to the original basis of this conversation, which is there's now pushback because some people are beginning to feel that it's too much.
I think it is too much. It goes
Like,
right back to it. It is a lot.
Didn't we do an episode maybe a few months ago where I sent you a picture or a meme or something where it had like 147 different days?
Yes, we spoke about that. It was different days for so many different times and everything else.
And it was all
Let's see.
alphabet community days.
Sex ed in elementary as of 2020 was the same thing we were taught.
Exactly. This is a man, this is a woman, this is how it works. The
And
end.
this is what happens when they get together.
This is what happens. You know, they didn't get into the important things like child support and all that other shit. No, they just went into the basics.
Look, I mean, I think
the topic of consequences was nowhere to be found, and I think that is a damn shame.
yeah, I mean, look, do I support them? Yes, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, we've done shows on, with
Absolutely.
with the community.
Yes.
All right. We've had them on the show. We've had them. We've had a guy. We've had a female. We've had
who was still supposed to send us cookies. If you ever find her, tell her she sold us out. Go ahead.
I'm no longer in the school system, so I don't know if anything has changed in the past few years. I don't think anything has changed in the past
So,
few. Actually,
Lisi, let me ask you a question, Lisi. I know it's been a few years for me too. I had to get out, or at least take a major break. Um, you just arrived. We were talking about Pride Month, and then Sander kind of threw in the classroom angle. Do you recall? And I don't know if it happens so much in places like Miami. Most of the incidents I see are in Middle America or Oregon. Everything happens in Portland. But do you recall having teachers or coworkers completely flood their classroom in like rainbow flags and LGBTQ symbology and phrasing? Did you ever experience that? And I think this was before DeSantis even did anything. So I believe your sister had the opportunity if it was there. And she'll answer us when she can.
yeah, I can't answer that one. She goes,
No
no
way.
way.
Okay. So I think a lot of it is also maybe territorial. Like, sure, I'm sure Sander, he watches, he scrolls, he looks at things and he sees what he sees, which is why he has that opinion. Right. I was just getting to that. And so, but I do notice that a lot of what I see is in certain places. It's in certain areas of the country where rules are more lax, things like that. I don't know, but yes, yeah, we're now at a point though where I'm beginning to feel that there's pushback coming from people, and I don't know. We'll see where this goes. I don't want it to get
Time's
to a
on you
point.
though, man. Like everything is amplified. Everything is very amplified. I
That's
mean,
because everything's in our face now.
and
Everything's
this
in
is
our
not
face now.
even,
There's
and this
there's
is not even,
nothing. Go ahead, Frank.
and this is not even just Pride Month, right? It's just everything. Doesn't matter what it is. It's everything. You got the Trumpers, all right, that are all over the place. Okay, you got the Biden people that are all over the place,
They're
all
actually
right,
hiding.
bro. You know what? I think everybody's
I'm just kidding.
agenda and everybody just fucking just throws everything out there, whether it's politics, whether it's sports, you name it, it's everywhere. It's
And
everywhere, and everything is
this
thrown at you
this
a lot
this
harder.
kind of goes with what I was talking about last week to you, Frank, about how life for us, because of when we were born and where what we had for technology as we grew up versus now, where everything is like exponentially faster and more amplified. I mean, I can fart a musical tune and the world will know if somebody caught it on camera. 20, 30 years ago, that was a joke amongst friends. So that's the kind of world we live in now. Where
Everything is amplified.
it is. And so this goes to what I was just saying a few minutes ago, where Sander and I, and I'm sure anybody, when you scroll enough, you see incident after incident after incident of elementary school classrooms with a lot of, colors, flags, and symbolism and all that. But if you count the amount of incidents you see versus the number of elementary school classrooms in total, it's still a tiny percentage, but it looks like it's all over the place. And we have to be careful with that. That's part of the problems, I guess, that this new age of information does to our brains, is that when you see a few things, you think it's everywhere, and it may not be the case. But here we are. So, yep, we got it for another 25 days. And, companies are going to be all, we support. And then as soon as July 1st rolls around, man, they're gone. Just like that. All that loyal support and favoritism and celebration of the alphabet community. Just like that. Moving on. So,
It's funny because I want to talk about this a minute. What does the U.S. look like to other countries, right?
wow, that at one point we did look pretty good. I can't say the
Yeah,
same for now, but
no,
tell
we
me.
I and it's funny enough because I work with a lot of offices overseas.
Hmm.
What I do, and I was talking to what is it? Just like Black History Month. As soon as February is over, it's like, okay, let's wrap it up. Yeah, he's going towards the ending of what you're saying. You know, but definitely. So what is it that we look like to other countries? I can tell you that in the Philippines, we look like we're a hot mess. I'm talking about the Philippines.
The
Not to talk nothing bad
Philippines?
about them.
The
Okay?
Philippines thinks that we're a hot mess.
Yes,
I mean, they're not wrong.
they're not wrong. They're just it's, and I got a pretty good relationship with somebody out there. That we talk every single day, and and he also listens to the podcast. So thank you for listening. And I told him, I said, no, we talk politics, and he always tells me where he's at. I mean, he's listened to a lot of our shows. I don't know if he's listened from day one to now, but I know that he's listened to a lot of them. And he was like, and I just asked him a question, like, so what do we look like to you guys? He's like, you guys look pretty bad. You know, he's like, you look like you guys are in trouble. Let's see, I respect who you want to be and freedom of expression, but I don't believe we need to bring it to schools. Absolutely. And that's kind of going back to what we look like. That's kind of one of those where I don't really like the fact that how we're looking to other
Can I
countries, right? 'Cause,
can I ask you a question? Did you get into details with him with regards to why or how we look bad? Like, what is it about us that looks bad?
I didn't get into complete details. I
Oh,
know that part of the thing he was like, he did mention Trump, and he's like that. No, and he was like, that's pretty bad.
what is
You know,
bad though?
the whole thing that he's on trial and he's running for president, or that
It
he was
does.
on trial.
It does. I mean,
And
Frank, I don't think you realize what this trial has done to us. I mean, you can't ask for a bigger black eye than that trial.
oh no, and the thing is that I guess in 6 days we're gonna know what happens, or is it
Next month.
Is it just, or it's
Next
July
month.
11th? I'm sorry.
Next month.
All right, so we got some time to know exactly what's gonna happen. What he's gonna get, and I got a question to ask though, and this is for those people that are not gonna vote for Trump. Why not?
Oh, this is my favorite.
You know, and I just want to know why not. Besides the trial, I mean,
I love this question that
and I
nobody
saw
answers.
this. No, I listen. I know we're not gonna get an answer to this, at least not prior tonight, because I think majority of the people.
I would
that are
love to
listening
see some
us-
answers, man, because the answers I get or the answers I usually hear to that question are absolutely hilarious. I mean, if they're not filled with hoaxes that have been proven to be debunked, it's, oh, he's a Nazi. Like,
I remember going to Cuba during the Lewinsky saga, and in Cuba we looked like fools. Well, we looked like fools because she didn't finish the job.
oh, listen to you. She did finish the job. She was wearing it.
No, she didn't swallow.
Listen to this guy, such a sexist bastard.
Look, man. At the end of the day, man, when we get things done and how we decide to do it, it's one thing, and how we do it on another is another. My hat's falling if I turn it around. I don't know.
That's all good.
So we just kind of have to. All right, let's hold on. Let's go with Sandra here. Man, Clinton was keeping hush while he was a mayor while drugs was dumped in his state, but we worried about Trump. Yeah, absolutely. Well, here we go, Trumpita, 2024. Where's my brother when you need him, right?
Oh yeah, man. He's
My
missing
brother
out
right now
again.
lost.
Carlos, if you're out there, buddy, shame, man. I mean,
Dude, you know what? I
you
think
could be
his
the
wife-
third square right now having a field day, but oh no, you just not nowhere to be found.
Yeah, I think he's not allowed to come on the show.
Bro, if I heard correctly, since that verdict, he has raised over $200 million. I mean, dude, the
Listen.
country the country knows that
Listen,
this smells like shit.
look, I was watching the UFC fight this weekend,
Oh, so you saw that?
and he was there.
Yes,
I
he
want to say
was.
at least three of the fighters went up to him,
Mm-hmm.
shook his hand,
Yep.
took pictures with him. Okay, and I know one of them said, "Hey, I'm gonna donate to you. Don't worry about it. I got your back.
Oh
What
yeah.
they're doing to you is an injustice." Um, I had the conversation about it at work, and not that
Oh,
I. Oh yeah. I mean, we
you
probably
got
have
to
to
fill
talk.
me in on that because now we're talking about people that I don't know. So I'm assuming not everybody at work is a Trump supporter. So give me some details. You don't have to name names.
Well,
Just
no,
fill me
I
in.
would not give names,
Right, right, right.
but I would tell you that majority of my office they are Republicans. Okay, so they're pretty much Trump supporters. Um, I'm the one that's more in the middle, than everybody else, and I'm the one that's always been against Trump. But I did have to agree with them. I said, well, they did do him an injustice because we're talking about something that happened many, many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's how much time do you have to go to do this? How much you have to keep doing this? And even though there's not a statute of limitation on that, there
There
has to be some
was.
type of
There was. That's
there,
the thing.
there
There
was.
was.
Okay, so what the
Yeah.
fuck?
There was. They had to literally do legal gymnastics to tie in the misdemeanors into some other thing to make it a felony, which is why the statute of limitations kind of didn't apply, even though the basis of the trial or the basis of what he did, those charges, yeah, way past their statute of limitations. But they brought it back, figured, okay, well, if we tie it here, then it's a whole new crime, and there's no statute because we just figured it out, kind of, sort of. I mean, dude, there's so much, but we've been over that. And so you're telling me that most of the people at your job were like, they could see the bullshit.
Yeah, they saw the bullshit. They saw it. They were just like, nope. It's a horse. It's bunch of caca. Pretty much by what they came up with. And I mean, I on certain things I could agree with them. On others, I don't agree with them, and that's one where I have to agree with them. And I said it when things are wrong, they're wrong. When they're right, they're right. And in this case, I think that they fucked up. They should not have charged them now. If they're going to do that, they should have done that long ago, not
Mhm.
10 years from the from
Something
the
like that.
date.
Yeah. It's been like
I mean,
8 years or
and
10 years.
and I'd say this for any crime. I mean, unless obviously you sat there and you killed somebody or one or the other, that's a little different. But
Right. Right.
I mean, if you're gonna come out, if you and this, I'm gonna sound like a sexist pig right now.
Oh, man,
You
be
know,
careful. We don't want to lose
no,
the
bro.
show, Frank.
Listen, it is what it is. I don't agree with the way society does things, and especially women. The way that they do things, because I really believe in that when s- when you go ahead and you decide to sleep with a man, or you get drugged or whatever, right?
Hmm.
For whatever it is, and you sleep with somebody and you realize it the next day, or whenever you realize it. Okay, why don't you go complain to the cops then, when when you got Congress people arguing about
I
eyelashes
don't know
and
if Frank knows about that.
someone
I'll
who looks
fill him
like
in a second. Actually,
a
I
built
should
body
find a
will laugh
clip.
at us? Absolutely, Panther. And when the current president falls asleep and needs to be woken up during his speech, so roll laughs at us. Absolutely. So, to me, it's one of those where it's like, dude, how are you really going to go ahead and come about 10, 15 years later? How come you didn't come before? To me, that is a part of certain things that happen and crimes that happen as to why you didn't come out with it. You know, call me an asshole, call me what you want, but I don't agree, with 15 years down the line, this guy's filthy rich and it's fucking loaded. Now you're coming after him? I'm not saying that what he did was right. Okay, but why are you coming out so late?
The issue, Frank, also is consistency. When they say there's a two-tiered system of justice, you know what that means?
Explain for people that might not know.
Essentially, what they're saying is that you have people that commit crimes, and based on who you are, or maybe what you believe politically, whatever, you're going to get one set of rules or one standard of treatment. And if you're like certain party, politician, elite, rich, whatever, you get a different set of treatment. So check this out. I heard today, and you probably didn't get wind of it yet. So we know about the Trump case involving the documents, right?
Correct.
I heard a lot of stuff has come out, so I'm going to try to be as accurate as I can. Sander, you sound like someone who pays attention, so you can fill me in or correct me if I get anything wrong. It's been proven that the raid, first of all, pretty much started in Biden's office, or at least with his administration. The documents that they took all those beautiful pictures of, that evidence was tampered with. Furthermore, they didn't notify anybody at Mar-a-Lago that they were coming, so it was a surprise raid. Now, hear me out.
Hold on. Theoretically, when you're serving a warrant or a raid and you have a warrant for it, you don't have to notify anybody that you're coming.
So that let me keep going now.
Please do.
First of all right, so now Biden got caught with documents too, right? Mm-hmm. First, the documents that Biden got caught with, he had them in his possession, and remember, he was never president. So technically, he had no business at all having any documents. Number one. Number two, when they were going to go search his house, kind of like what they did to Trump, they gave him a complete heads up that they were on their way.
Are you sure
about that? And then, number three,
did you hear that on Fox?
Huh?
Did you hear that on Fox?
No, it's out there, man. You can hear it anywhere. Number three, you had a special counsel investigate the Biden situation, and what were the end result? What was the end result? They covered for him by saying, yes, he did the exact same thing Trump did. However, he is not mentally acute enough to be criminally charged. Really? So wait. So because his brain he's not as sharp in the head. Therefore, we're not going to criminally charge him. That was the excuse that the special counsel gave us.
Okay, hold on. Let's break that down a second. Let's break that down a second. And not that I'm for Biden in this case.
No, go ahead. All right.
But if he's not mentally acute enough.
Yeah, they got mad about that
too,
by the way.
Is he running for... Why is he our president?
Do you remember what I said 4 years ago, Frank?
Can be
Do you remember what I said?
Not get charged?
Do you remember?
Que basura?
You remember what I said 4 years ago? That nobody's voting for Biden. People are just voting against Trump. We are essentially cutting off our nose to spite our faces. That's what we did. And here we are. We have a weekend at Bernie's president, and now we're paying for it badly. But that is a small explanation of what the two-tiered system of justice is. We can get into Hillary Clinton with all the classified information she was messing with on a server in a private location when she also was not president, deleting emails during an investigation. We could do this all day. But these are Democrats. These are establishment government hacks. And therefore, when they're in trouble, everybody else circles the wagon, protects the wagon, and they never get in trouble. But Trump, he's not part of them. He's an outsider. And so here we have this incessant hunt, creating laws, throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. That's the two-tiered system of justice.
So my sister says he's not president. Kamala is. And then because it's blue,
Lacey,
no
that's
matter
just
who,
as terrifying.
I think it is. Because they didn't want Trump again. Yeah.
No, they don't want him. They don't want him. And see, there's Sandra, there's even more reason why they don't want him this time. Because the first time he went in there to disrupt. He said he was going to get rid of the swamp. And he didn't really get to do all that. Why? Because he didn't really know. He didn't really know, number one, how bad it was. He didn't really know the players. He was taking a lot of recommendations from people, not knowing that the people that they were recommending were also snakes. This time, he knows. This time, he's a lot smarter. This time, he gets the system. He gets how deep and murky it is, and they know that. And so now, they absolutely. I told, who was it? I think my mom. She might have asked me, and I told her, no, I think he's going to jail. I'm sure they'll try to put him in jail. I'd be surprised if they didn't. They will do it to do what they can to get rid of him. I'm going to put $2 because I'm not rich, but I'll put money on the fact that they're going to try to put him in Rikers Island. Now, if you want to martyr the guy, go for it. You know that's going to backfire, but I don't think they care anymore. So I don't know. We'll see. But they'd rather have him dead than back in office. I'll say it like that, and I'll say it without even skipping a beat. And I think that's where we are. And so, I don't know. I mean, Frank, let me ask you a very terrible hypothetical. Say this proceeds as I just described, and somehow Trump is assassinated. What does this do to you? Like, what do you think? How do you feel? What pops into your head?
Repeat your question. How do I
Trump
feel?
goes to jail. They send him to Rikers. And he is somehow assassinated in there. He gets Epsteined. What happens?
Trump dies?
That is the obvious.
Ron DeSantis runs for president? You know?
You think that's it, though?
Says JFK. I think this country's going to go in an uproar. I think what we saw at the Capitol on January 6th is going to be triple or quadruple that.
Yikes.
Let's see. I have a small appointment at the Natural Resorts this weekend. Hey,
Next
listen,
week.
you got COVID, so you might not be able to go.
Next week, I want to hear all about it. Tell me for real, is the place full of taste or not? But Frank, these are the times. This is what's like percolating, man. This is now under the pressure.
Want to answer your question there?
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I probably will not be affected by it. Okay, to be completely solely honest. Do I think it will be a travesty to this country? Probably, to put a man in jail for money, for playing with money, pretty much, because that's what it boils down to. Okay. I don't think that's a white collar crime. He's not a fucking criminal. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it would be pretty crazy. I mean, would I personally be affected? Probably not. You know. So it's one of those where it's like, okay, it is what it is. I'm sorry. You know, let's move on. You know, it's funny. I have a guy right now, right? That, and I'm gonna go off topic in a minute because these are the funny things that I find. That I share this show in a bunch of different Facebook groups, right? To get a better following, get a more following, right? And then and I love it because I get a message, right?
Right.
That says, "Hi there. I visited your page. Your your content quality is quite good." Well, I'm gonna reply to them. Well, thank
Well,
you,
thank you.
right? And I guarantee you, and sir, Miss Morzin Kahutun, I guarantee you that you are about to offer me a podcast promotion where you could promote my podcast in all these different platforms and get a bunch of followers. Okay, I know you're listening to me, and now why you would even have the decency or the common sense
What if
to
she's
go
a
ahead?
fan, Frank? Like, what if?
Bro,
What
no, bro.
if?
Look,
What
look,
if?
look, look. You know,
I
no,
mean,
they're not because watch this, watch
how
this.
can you be
I'm
so
gonna go to their
sure?
profile.
Oh man, are
I'm
you gonna
gonna
start
go
butchering
to,
people like this? Potential.
no, bro. Listen, I get this all the time. Watch this. Look, look. Is your podcast available in Apple, Spotify, and other platforms? But of course, but of course, and I'm gonna write to him. How much? You know what? I'm just gonna be straight up honest. Let's cut the bullshit. Bullshit.
What happened to all those nice emails and messages we've been talking about these last
Let's
few
cut the
weeks?
bullshit. No, no, no. Hey, listen. I'm still doing that. I'm still being nice, but I'm saying let's cut the bullshit.
Cut the bullshit. Would you ever
How
send
much
anybody an email at work
do
that says, let's
you
cut the bullshit?
charge? Bro, I heard worse.
Oh,
I've heard
wow.
worse. Look, you see, look. Oh, you can't see it. There, you see? Who in your
What
right
a-
mind, if you know that I'm doing a show, you're gonna start sending me a message as I'm doing a show. All right? Come on. Here's my sister, Frank. Jeez. Okay.
See, I agree with
I
Lisi. What happened to subtlety and decorum?
I am being so I am being so. Okay. I mean, listen, I'm not sending him to go fly a kite. Just told him, hey, let's cut the bullshit. How much do you charge? And I guarantee you, look, if you're listening, I guarantee you're gonna charge me about between $250 to $300, and you're gonna promise that I'm gonna get thousands and thousands of subscribers. Okay, so I know how it works.
See a problem.
Okay, and I'm not gonna sit here and pay for it because you know what I like. I like what we
What?
have right now. We have a genuine audience, right? I
Homegrown,
don't have somebody.
grassroots, baby. That's right.
I don't have I don't have a based audience. First, just see the result. If you like results or work, then we will work with us, and you don't have to pay anything for this free trial work. Oh well, fine,
I'm glad this isn't
but
coming
they're
up in
not
the comment
organic.
section. Where is this at? Oh, this is straight to your phone.
This is straight to my phone.
Yeah, okay.
It's straight to my phone. You know what? As a matter of fact, watch this. Make comments on my show about this, and we can speak live about it.
Oh, you're inviting a
Would
bot.
you like
Nice.
me to bring you on the show so you can discuss it? Watch, and I kid you not, bro. I swear to God, I will give them the link to bring them on freaking live.
And watch, it's gonna be feet again.
No, there's no fee. But I find it funny, you know.
All right.
You know,
So,
but hey,
bueno.
listen, can
Yes,
you
sir.
imagine? Can you imagine if they get on? You know how fun that would be?
I would be
Because
redeemed. Then I was right. It's a legitimate listener.
I'm gonna freaking just not rip them a new one, but I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be respectful.
Oh,
And
yeah, yeah.
if they piss me
Do you
off,
like to fly kites?
they ask me home.
Oh, that's actually a human response.
Yeah.
Frank is butchering our
I will bring
potential
you
audience. Amazing.
on the show right
This is
now.
this is a
Do
shame.
you want to come on?
Total shame.
we can discuss this live.
Absolute mockery
No, bro, you know what? I
of
would love
people
to do
who
this.
care about our product, who care about entertainment that we provide, and this man is mocking them.
I really want to see, bro. I would love to bring them on.
Unbelievable.
As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna get the link right now, and I'm send me your YouTube link or any like your.
Oh, challenge accepted.
I'm gonna bring them online right now. See, Carlos, this is what makes our show like 3-4 hours long because I'm gonna give him the link to come on the show.
Challenge
I'm gonna give him the
accepted.
link.
Oh my god!
Actually, I don't think challenge is accepted.
You think he won't?
I don't.
Well,
think
wait. Did he ask for your stream? He asked for the stream link, or he asked for just a YouTube link?
No, they're asking for my YouTube link. Right, they're asking for the YouTube link. But what I'm going to do is
I was hoping he was asking
I'm
for
going
the
to send him
stream
the
link.
StreamYard link.
You serious?
Oh no, I'm dead ass serious.
Ladies and gentlemen, Calloused Feet Part 2.
I'm going to bring him on.
It's coming. Watch. We're going to get shuffling gross feet.
Copy link.
Oh no.
Oh yes, I'm gonna have fun with this. We're
get involved in these things. Oh right,
bro, it just happens.
I'm part of the show. All right. I'm just watching Frank's determination. I think it's hilarious.
I want to. Okay, so Liz, what's happening is right. So there's. Whoa, hold on. So hold on. Let's go to the comments.
So what's happening? All right.
Sir, there are many ways of sending someone pa carajo and smarter ways. Okay, that's when I was talking shit there. Wow, so off topic. Absolutely. Hello, what's next on the list to talk about? We got mental health to talk about. We got Miami party scene in the 80s and 90s. So what's happening? Well, so what's happening?
Do we remember that though? We were kids. I remember, well, I do remember in the late 90s and the early 2000s, that was a scene.
Yes.
That was absolute
You might be the only one listening now, Liz.
But mental health, Frank. I mean, so that's a big detour from where we are now.
Oh no, it completely is a big detour.
What aspect of mental health were we going to touch base on today?
Bro, I don't know. Just
maybe we should talk about your mental health.
My mental health is my mental health is on point.
It's on point, huh?
Is all over the place. Is how do you deal with people? How do you deal with people on a regular basis? How does it affect your mental health when they screw with your existence?
Damn.
Right? I mean, let me tell you something, man. It takes a lot to really hold back, and I want to punch somebody in the face sometimes.
Wow, Frank is showing his vulnerabilities. This is interesting.
Hey, no, you know what, man? I've said this. You know, a year ago, me would have jumped in somebody's face because they gave me a stupid comment. I got a stupid comment. I got a stupid comment from an individual last week. I'm not aggressive today, Liz. I'm chilling right now. I'm chilling. It's something about the show today that has my vibe going.
I agree with you, Lisi.
Hey, but I'm being respectful, man. I'm being
respectfully aggressive.
All right. I got had a situation last week. Right?
Okay, let's have it.
Matter of fact, it was after the show. I put a lockbox on my AC.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Totally forgot. Fill us in.
Yes. So that Friday morning came around.
Right.
And I was given a comment of, "Oh, such nice weather. And bro, it took every ounce of me, every ounce of me, not to go off 6 o'clock in the morning.
What a great comment.
Somebody. I just looked and said, "You're absolutely right. It's real great." And then I walked in my kitchen.
I'm in tears. This is great.
I'm walking to my kitchen, and my window's open.
While the air was on, the window was opened.
Yes, sir. While the air was on, my window was.
Oh no, those are fighting words, moves, whatever, passive
I
aggressive.
just.
Yikes.
I don't know how many times I've told you this, but you need to keep the window shut, especially when the AC is running. It's not a good thing. Because when my AC breaks, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna get paid for it. Because I know where I'm gonna go spend the night. I won't spend it here, and the AC is not gonna work until you fix it or you leave. And then I got a comment of, well, I think maybe that's what I might have to do. And I was like, well, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. I gotta go to work. I don't got more time for you. I left.
Wow. This finally came to a head. Yeesh.
Long story short, I had a day of reflection.
A reflection. I like that.
Of playing the whole story in my head. There was
I
another
hate that.
incident there that I'm not going to talk about, but there was another incident that same night. And I left my house. I argued with them and I told them to get the fuck out.
Mhm.
And it wasn't a thing of where I was like, get the fuck out. I was like, no, you have to leave. This is not good. So I was like, whatever. Had a day of reflection. I made a phone call. I made several phone calls. I spoke to an individual and kind of made sense. Maybe I've been talking to him and he wasn't understanding the process.
Okay.
And I was like, well, yeah, maybe now he understands. So this was it was 1 o'clock in the morning. So I get home, mind you, individual is upstairs, chilling, not a light on, everything's quiet. Turn on the TV downstairs. If you're awake, I'm wanting to talk to you now. So
very mafioso of you. I like that.
Yes. Not even 2 minutes later, poof, downstairs. Comes over, very humbled. Very, oh man, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, look, man, let me tell you something. You're old enough to know what's right. You're old enough to know what's wrong. I don't know what way to tell you things anymore. But I was having a conversation with somebody, and it kind of made me see things a different light. Different way.
light.
All right. So I'm going to tell you like this. I'm going to give you one more chance. I'm going to even take the box off of the AC. Because I'm going to tell you like this. What really should have happened last night or this morning, or what would have happened a year ago, I would have jumped all over your face. I would have probably smacked you in the mouth for your stupid comment. But I'm trying not to be that person. I'm trying not to be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what?
Did you tell them about your emails and how they've gotten better too, or no?
Not it.
I'm just teasing. Go on.
But I did tell them, I was like, dude, you can't. I go, you can't do that. So it's my house. It's my rules. Okay. You pay me to live in the house.
You pay me, man.
Yeah, you pay me for a room. The fact that I sit here and I give you access to the whole house is a privilege.
Right.
Because I could easily go ahead, put a little fridge in your room, put a microwave
Mhm.
in your room. You know what? You do everything in your room. And I don't do that because I wouldn't like that done to me. So again, this is where I come from. You have
Frank sharpening his landlord skills. Nice.
you have one more chance. And these guys are talking loud. Now you hear them talking, huh?
I heard that.
You see? But
I
they
heard that.
forget that I'm on a show. But it's
Go
all
bang
right.
on the door. Carajo. Ba 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 ba.
These guys are talking like super loud without
Uh,
realizing that I'm on a show. But it's all right.
but do they know?
They don't know that I'm on a show.
All right.
They don't know. I can't sit here and really complain and bitch and moan.
Complain about it. Gotta let people
No.
know.
Exactly. You know. But it's all right. You know. But
Gotcha.
I'm about to open the door and be like, hey, shh,
Hey, shut up.
shut the fuck up. So at the end of the day, I told the individual, you got
Mhm.
one chance. But I
You get
laughed
one chance, man. One chance.
because Sunday came along
Mm.
and the fucking window in his room was fucking open. And mind you, on Sunday I had a bad mental day. And I was in my room majority of the day. So I didn't come out. I know that he left with the other guy around noon. And I was like, what? I went outside about 6 o'clock in the evening and I look up, gets out of one of those things, and the window's open.
That's it. You
I said to
at that
myself,
moment,
no, no,
you could hear in Frank's brain. Stop.
bang, almost, almost, and I just said, okay, we good. Sent him a picture. I said, how many times? Needless to say, the moment he walked through that door, I'm so sorry. All right, no worries. Don't worry about it. I got you. It's okay because in the
But is he really sorry? Let's get into that for a second before you go any further, Frank. How long was that window open?
all fucking day he wasn't here
So why did he open it?
to get fresh air.
I
He actually
don't
get fresh air.
know. I'm not buying this, Frank. I'm
You
not
know,
too sure. Listen,
I
I'm not one. I'm not one to advocate for homelessness, throwing people out. But I don't know, man. I'm not feeling this remorse. But that's just me, man. Go ahead.
and this guy didn't get on the show, bro. I told you weren't gonna get on the show.
Ah, look, your sister's worse than I am. Your sister's an absolute tyrant, man. She's like zero patience. Fuera. Out of here. She used to be the nice one in class. Now I'm afraid of her.
Oh, yeah, bro. Be afraid of her. Be afraid of her, man. I'm telling you. It's just, dude, it's one of those where I have no problems renting a room to anybody. All right. But sometimes
Mm,
you have to respect the rules.
of
Sometimes
course.
you have to, abide by them. And I'll tell you, man, I've gone through my changes in life, you know, the past year almost, more or less. And I try to see things a different light, a different way, and I try to react differently, because at the end of the day, you kind of have to you gotta act correctly, you know. And if you do things right, you're gonna get right, you know.
Agreed.
So I've just didn't like that, and I got a little aggressive on the show today, but that's okay. That's comiendo mierda. You know, I listen. I do notice those things. I'm not crazy, but what can I do about it?
So
I mean,
let me ask you the prevailing question, the question on everybody's mind, which is, how much more are you going to take? What's left in the tank, Frank? What's
bro, honestly,
next?
there's not a lot left in the tank. There's not. I'm having a hard time
No, we're still
because
talking about this one particular person.
well, hold on, hold on. What is it you're talking about?
First thing I'm asking you about is the person.
Um, I don't think there's a lot left in the tank. I think that right now he's humbling. Right now he's tranquilo. Right now he's chilling because he knows that leash went from here to here.
Margin of error.
So he knows that. Like, I'll give you an example. When he first moved in, the other guy moved in was because I was in a really tough spot.
So you were willing to put up with a little bit more.
So right, I was in a tough spot financially,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not now. So it's my level of patience is very tiny when it comes down to someone living here. I have no problem renting out my room, renting out the rooms to other people.
Right.
I have no problem with that as long as you respect what we got going on here. Because you do that, then you're good. When you don't do that, it's where then we got the problem.
Right. Okay.
And I think that things will hopefully get better. If they don't get better, well then bye.
So now I'm going to go back to what you said. When I asked you how much is left in the tank, you were answering a different question. I caught that. What do you mean by you're struggling? What's wrong?
Struggling where?
I asked you how much do you have left in the tank? How much more is it going to take? And you said, I'm having a difficult time. I'm struggling. So then you didn't realize I was talking about your tenants. So what were you
No,
talking about?
but that's what I mean. No, I was talking about him. I'm struggling with
Okay.
myself to
All right.
because look, man,
I thought you were attaining nirvana and you were doing well.
no. Look, it's a struggle. Why is it a struggle? Because I know, there's a human aspect to all this.
Of course.
Okay, and I don't want to be that dickhead, that asshole. Be like, yo, that's it, go. But there does come a point where it needs to be done because it's either my mental well-being or him living nice and comfortable in my house.
That's,
And my mental well-being
it's priority.
is priority.
Right.
Those that know me know that I haven't been in a good place, and that I'm coming out of all that now. I'm coming out of that mess. I'm coming out of that mental stuff. And you know what? At the end of the day, it's just one of those where it's like, yo, you can't screw with my peace and my tranquility.
Absolutely. Don't
You
mess
know,
with my Zen, damn
no, not at all, man.
it.
It's not
So
good.
overall, Frank, question. You have how many? 3 tenants? 2?
True.
2. And how would you rate the landlord experience after, what is it, a year now?
No, it's been about 6 months.
6 months. So after 6
If that.
months, what are your thoughts on being a Donald Trump?
Dude, it's really not that bad, when you have the right people. And now,
Right.
granted, what happens? I live in the house. So if I didn't live in the house, it's a different story. Okay. But I live in the house. So I see everything.
So you're
I live
pissed
in the-
off. You get pissed off in real time. That has to be worse. Like, you could be the landlord that lives in your own house away from the building and you're cool until you get a phone call. You don't even know exactly how it happened, but you know there's a problem. You're upset about the problem. You'll fix it, but you live there. So
You know what?
you,
The
uh-huh.
problem the problem lies here. Okay. I Not that I get completely upset and I go off because I don't. So there's times where I see something, fuck it, I'll take care of it. Blah, 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 blah. No big deal, doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Okay. The problem comes is when you're careless. The only individual in this house that I should be repeating anything to is my 15-year-old son.
Okay.
That's it.
Right.
We're grown adults. Okay. We know what's right. We know what's wrong. We know that, hey, if I'm asking you for something or if I'm asking you for this, hey, make sure it gets done. Just do it.
Right.
Okay. We're dealing with adults. Like, look, I'm going to give you an example, right? Yes, part of their lease, part of the agreement is that they're going to have parking in front of the house. Okay. Not a problem.
Well, this was an issue too, but go ahead.
It's not an issue. It's not an issue because that's part of the deal.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But
Didn't mean to sidetrack you. Go ahead.
but I did tell them, and this was recently. I'm like, hey guys, I think we're all pretty good here. All right. I go, I need a favor because I'm driving my Jeep around, and I don't want to park my car in Timbuktu, whether it's my Jeep or the other car I have. All right, when you guys are here early enough, where there's plenty of guest parking space, which is right in the area right by my house. So can you do me a favor, please? I get home the latest. Park in a guest. Okay, the next day, if you're gonna leave early and I'm still home, I'll take the guest. So when you come back, you have the parking space in the house. So you play around with the parking spots.
Right.
I'm always told, like I know one of the guys gets here later, like before me, but he gets here later. The other guy's here all fucking day. When he steps out, it's in the morning and he's back by like 12:30. And I know there's fucking parking spaces because I'm not stupid. You know?
Damn right.
Come on, man. Park. Park. Don't be an ass. You know?
Right.
And that happens a lot. You know?
But
Because
overall, the experience hasn't caused you any new grays, made you extremely frustrated. Do you regret anything? Do you feel that this is cool and you can keep going?
not with him.
Mm.
I'll be honest, I'll be surprised if this guy lasts until the end of July.
Now, how does it work with you and renewals?
Well, there is no lease agreement.
So
Pretty much it's
you can get fired at any time.
a month to month.
Month to
It's a
month.
month to month.
All right.
That's what it boils down to, a month to month.
Now, I'm sure the answer is yes, but I don't need to know specifics, but at the end of the day, has the income provided to you from this system greatly benefited? Has it
Oh,
really
of
helped you
course.
out?
I
A
mean,
lot?
of course. A lot. I mean,
Like
that's
more than you thought? Like you're doing well and
it's probably where I thought it would be.
Okay.
It's where I thought it would be. You know,
Gotcha.
that it hasn't. I'm not gonna say that it exceeded expectations, like by a whole lot. You
Yeah,
know,
you haven't
but
upgraded the Jeep to a Hummer yet. Got it.
no, but I do have some sad news about my Jeep.
Did you say sad?
Yep, I'm getting rid of it.
No. Oh no. At least tell me
Yeah,
you're keeping the radio system. You're letting that go too?
yep,
Are you trying to avoid the temptation of yelling at someone else with your radio in the car?
probably.
What are you buying?
I don't know yet.
Okay, what are your, I don't know, what are you aiming for?
Another Jeep,
Oh, well then.
but I might. I'm looking at a Gladiator,
All right, wait,
which
Gladiator.
is the Jeep pickup.
Isn't that the Comanche?
No, it's a Gladiator now.
Oh, they changed the name?
Yes,
Oh, I didn't know. Okay. So right, they're pickup trucks, like half Jeep, half truck. Okay.
yes, yeah.
Those are nice.
So I'm looking at that.
Those are nice.
You know?
Your car payment is going to be about as much as your your mortgage.
No. I mean, look, man. I'm not gonna sit there and buy one brand spanking new because it's
Okay.
just too much. You know, but I am gonna look into it. My Jeep's to be obviously a trade-in. I could get a decent amount of money for my Jeep.
Yeah, Jeep's values it's ridiculous
Yeah,
how they hold up.
yeah.
I don't
So
understand it.
going on to other things. Or did we talk about this?
We touched it, but we can dive in.
We could dive in. Do we have anybody else listening? So who else is listening to us, or is it just us talking? No one's around. I
It
think no
could
one's
be
around.
just us. I don't know. I mean, let me
Yeah, I
scour
think
the
my sister
sites
left.
to see who's.
I think my sister left. I think everybody else dropped.
That's all right.
It's all right. So
All right. You know,
we might just. And the guy that was talking to me just decided to say goodbye. I'm not going to talk to you. You see, get in the
not your
show, guys.
not your friend anymore.
No. Of course, he's not my friend. What happened? I'm going to text him. What happened?
Oh, you mean Sander?
No. The other guy. The guy that kept on messaging me. That guy. You see,
Oh
look,
man, let that.
there's the link. Dude, can you imagine? I get one of those people on here, bro. Like, so what do you want to talk about? You know, what do you want to talk about? You want
The
to talk about
weather.
promote? Please explain to me. Share your screen on how you promote podcasts. You know, please.
I think you scared off a fan, man. You got fresh. They left. That's all there is to it.
Bro, I did not scare off a fan.
So you brought up the dance scene of the past. And I guess I gotta ask you, what has motivated you to bring up that? You know how many skeletons are in those closets? Do
Oh,
you
wow.
realize?
You know what, dude? I was having a conversation with somebody earlier, and I was like, "Man, Miami party scene." I was asked, "Did you party in Miami?" I was like, "Yeah, I partied a little bit. It
The
was fun."
question is, do you remember partying in Miami? That's a given.
Well, dude, I do remember.
Then you didn't party.
No. Hold on, no. I remember because I got there.
Oh, that's true. We had to arrive.
I do remember $5 buckets of Blue Long Islands.
Oh my God.
All right.
Oh, I'm sick. Just hearing that.
I do remember making friends with the bartender. I never remember what the final bill was.
Nope. No, I bet you didn't.
Okay. But I do remember at the end of the night between me and my 5 buddies that went, we gave the guy about a $700 tip,
Oh, wow.
because we just gave him $100 each.
Oh my God.
But dude, we drank all night, whatever the hell
Yeah,
it
no,
was.
I bet they took care of you. That's for sure.
because I remember the first time it happened, we ran a bill by like $450, $500, and we were just three guys,
Oh,
and I
bro,
was like, "What the fuck?
what did your liver ever do to you, bro?
Oh, I don't know, man. It's never been the same since."
No, man. I
And
remember.
I
Well,
didn't pass that. I told him,
I do recall like in the late '90s, and I was busy with college during the '90s for the most part. Till my dad passed away. That's when things started getting a little hairy for me.
right. I remember your dad. Your dad lived in your house, didn't he?
He did. He
It was the
did.
man that lived there. Remember
Well,
showing up to your house when you had your 300ZX?
nice. I had my dad and then my uncle. My uncle was
Okay.
bedridden though, in one of the rooms. Now that I think back, my house was a nightmare. It was no fun. That's why I was never home. I was always out running around. I don't know what nobody would want to stick around for that. But late '90s and early millennium 2000s, the Miami scene was out of control. Out of control.
No, it was.
I mean, God, it was bad. It
I
was
remember
bad.
like I partied after high school to 96 until I left.
So you started early.
I started right after high school.
Yeah, you started right after high school. I
Where
took
I
a
was
little
not
time.
even where I was not even allowed to drink, but I still drank.
Yeah.
And then once I left the military, I partied when I was in the military in Texas. That's for sure. That was just
I
a
bet. Actually, I want to ask you about that, but go ahead. Go ahead.
And then when I came back, I got back to Miami. What? I got out of service in '99, and then I was kind of like
You
in
did
a weird
mandatory
state.
4, correct?
3.
3. Right. You said 3. Okay.
And then I was just like kind of in a loop for a while. And then I remember I partied a lot, like 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003. And a funny story, when I started when I finally started working after I got out of the army that I was here, because before that I was going out with my friends and my friends were paying because I had money, but not a whole lot of money to be just blowing in a club. And I'll never forget, we went to Cafe Iguanas, and I had just gotten my first paycheck.
Oh
I'm like,
man.
guys, I got it. You guys took care of me. I'm gonna take care of you guys.
Wow.
Okay. I remember I drove my truck to my buddy's house. All right. And we went to Iguanas. But whatever you drank, I drank.
Oh.
Whatever the other guy drank, I drank. Whatever the other guy drank, I drank.
This
So
sounds bad.
every time that anybody had a drink, I had a drink with them of whatever they were drinking. Like
Who's
every round
wait,
that I
did you do
fought,
that on purpose? Did you set up that rule? Like
I did it on purpose. I did it on purpose because when we were going out, they were paying for me, and it was only just right.
all
They took
right.
care of me, so I took care of them that night. Well,
So you were matching drinks with 5 guys.
yes, I was shit faced. Where my buddy took me home,
Wow.
okay, and he would tell me, he goes, "Do you even remember opening the door when you had to puke?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? I don't remember shit. All I know is I remember this is the crazy part. I remember he walked me inside the house, all right, and he just laid me on the couch. Okay. But the crazy thing was
Mm-hmm.
that my father found me outside on the porch with a cigarette like this.
Oh
That's,
man. And bro, that's how houses burn down, bro.
well, the cigarette wasn't even lit. I guess I went to light it and I just went clunk and
You
I
just
passed
passed
out.
out.
I passed out. And I could tell you I could tell you the day because I remember I had to go to work that morning and my boss didn't let me call off. It was that was
Oh,
from April 18th to April 19th in the morning. I'll never forget that. I
bro.
was tore the fuck up. Where
What
I couldn't even drink water because I couldn't hold it down.
what possessed you to do that? Don't get me wrong. I understand your tenacity to party. I always have. But if you knew that that was like the next morning, why'd you do that? Why would
Because
you
I'm
self sabotage?
because I was always able to do that.
Like just wake up and be like, ta da, be like Popeye, go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was always able to do that. I was like, okay, I got it. I got this. And well, I didn't quite get it, did I?
No. And
Oh,
I guess I have to ask, how was work?
horrible.
I bet.
Horrible. I was working at the gun range. It was just horrible. And it was horrible. I was able to leave maybe about an hour before they closed, but it was disgusting. I was like,
Wow.
never again.
Damn,
I
Frank.
was
I mean, you know what?
I was not.
I'm not one to criticize. Lord knows during those years, um, like the late 90s and early 2s, I can't recall how many times I'd go to bed and 2 hours later, an hour later, the alarm is going off. I gotta go to work.
Dude,
Sitting there seeing double while I'm sitting there at work.
I'll tell you this. I can tell you that the last time I partied like that was 7 years ago when I got divorced. All right.
Divorce
When I got
parties.
divorced,
Those are bad.
divorce, that divorce party lasted from April to like July.
Oh my God. April to July.
Okay. Probably mid August.
Unyo.
Okay. And bro, oh my God, they got to get me back.
Oh, that was you?
I'm not a podcaster. Oh, well. So what? Come on the show and talk about it. Watch. Come on the show and talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about what you do. I know you're a podcast promoter, you moron. So when I got divorced, I thought I didn't have it in me anymore, man. I had one last run because, dude, I was going on every day. Okay, and coming home at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, taking a shower, going to work. I will sleep when I got to work 'cause I got there early. I'll sleep in the car. My boss will knock on my window when he got there.
Mm-hmm.
Then during my lunch hour, come home, sleep for about an hour, go back. You want to talk about where my boss at one point was like, dude, you smell like alcohol. Are you sober? I'm like, I'm sober. I'm clean.
I'm sober, sir.
I'm good, man. I was like, I'm good,
I'm
boss.
good. I'm good. I swear.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure,
But
for sure.
I'm good.
But it was fun, you know.
Oh man. Well, that's we were what, 20s, invincible, nothing could hurt us, idiots. Those were the days. Those were the days. So I wanted to ask you, kind of branching off from this conversation. In the military, I totally understand that, guys in the military, folks in the military, they party like it's a problem. However, am I not under the understanding that in the military, like the next morning, your ass better be ready for whatever it is you're supposed to do? How the
Yes, sir.
hell? How does that work? Like you're inebriated, 10 bottles into the wind, especially if it's you and the boys, because everything's a competition. You're I mean, so here, let me just kind of lay it out with what I have here, and I'm just going to throw it all on the table, and you'll make sense of the mess I'm about to make. I understand that, and not just boot camp. You guys had not just boot
basic
camp.
training. There is no partying.
No, okay, so okay, that actually clears some of it. But in once you're stationed and all that, they still do room checks and things like that.
Dude, they do. I mean, I never really lived in the barracks. I lived off post because I was married when I was in.
Oh,
And
okay.
even when I got divorced, I stayed living off post.
Okay. So you
Because I
didn't have too
never,
much scrutiny,
I didn't have scrutiny. I think
but you
I
still had
did,
to report.
of course. I had to
And what
drive the
was
base
that
every single
like?
morning,
What was that like? Like, morning, sir.
bro.
I didn't drink. No, I didn't drunk. No, I'm
You
good.
report,
Ready to shoot the cannon, sir.
and whatever happens, happens. I could say that there was probably plenty of times where I reported, and I was probably still inebriated from the night before.
Supposed to
But I
protect
would
our
get
country,
there.
Frank.
I did. That's
I did. I sure did.
I did. And I'm sure there was those times where doing PT, you're running, and
Mm.
everything starts slowing. You don't know the amount of people that would just step out of the running
Oh
formation,
my God.
bleh,
PT.
get right back on and go.
Wow. PT after a
That's the
hangover.
way it was, bro. That's the way it was.
Oh, that is
You know,
fishy.
you will party and you'll wake up the next morning and you just go. It was
Question.
nonstop.
What is worse? PT with a hangover or tear gas training?
I think the tear gas training is bad.
Really? All right.
Yeah, bro, because I'll tell you that training, and I got it in basic training, right?
Right.
And they put you into that chamber. They make you break the seal of your mask, put the mask back on, clear it, and then they tell you to take off the mask. And the trick there was before you take it off, take a deep breath, break it off, and you hold your breath. And the drill sergeant start to ask you questions. And you just answer without giving like all your breath out.
No. Yes.
The problem comes when you run out of breath and you just you're done. You're done. Okay.
I'm sure they
And
made everybody. I know that trick didn't work when I guess. Well, hold on. Maybe it did. How long were you? Let's say you applied the trick you just described.
I did that.
And how long were you able to hold your breath and deal with the questions before they asked you to run out?
Well, the way I did it was right. They'll go down the line. Bah, 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 bah.
Oh, so the
Once they
poor
get
soul at the end of the line.
no, because the guy at the end of the line still had his mask on until they
Oh,
come.
okay.
They
Okay.
got to the person next to me.
Gotcha.
You will ask him stuff. All right, his mask is already off. At that point, you got to start looking and be prepared because they're gonna come to you. The minute that guy walks off, break it. They're gonna start talking to you. And I guess depending on how they feel you're done, they would either say you goodbye, have a good day.
Or they'd want to talk with you and have a good time.
Right.
Yeah, hey man, listen. So spare a team.
And I'll
No,
tell you,
sir.
I could tell you that going off kind of the same topic in the sense, right? I will never forget this. We got smoked. All right. And getting smoked is when they put you through the ringer of doing freaking push ups, sit ups, flutter kicks, roll right, roll left, grass drills, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
And I will never forget, there was a huge puddle. And everybody was going again around the puddle. And the drill sergeant was like, no, 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 no. We're going in the puddle. And He's fucking smacking people around with a puddle. Nobody went. I said, fuck it. What's the worst that can happen? I get dirty, take a shower. No big deal, right? I roll all the way around. And that's it. That's what he wanted. Give the guy what he wants, right? Well,
There's always something. Uh-huh.
needless to say, I went in the puddle. Roll right, roll right, roll right, roll right. I got to the end. Roll left, roll left, roll left, roll left. Stuck me in the middle of the puddle. I was roll right, roll left, roll right, roll left, roll right, roll left. Let me tell you something.
Oh man.
I had mud coming out of my ass. Okay? Coming out of my ass. I didn't know what to do. I was like, this is not good at
Wow.
all.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, no way. Dude, I hated life. All I got was a pat on the back because my drill sergeant's like, this guy took it for the team. I'm like, yeah, I took it for the team. All right. I was so pissed. I went
Yay,
upstairs.
Frank! Take it for the team.
I
Woo!
grabbed my BDUs. I just went in the shower with them on.
Might as well.
Okay. It was just went in the shower. Okay. All right. That was one of the worst times that I ever had in basic training. I mean, I hated basic training to start out with.
I don't think anyone's ever liked basic training, to my
Bro, but you know
knowledge.
what? You know what? It's nothing now to what it used to be.
I can imagine.
Like I went in October 31st of 1996. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was there till April something of 97. Because where I was at was basic training and your training of what you're gonna do. My thing is called OSAT, one station unit training. So I did everything together. It was you did your basic training and then you did your training.
All right. Gotcha.
And let me tell you something. Within those 6 months, right? Because November, December, January, February, March, April, yeah, 6 months that I was there.
Mm-hmm.
If I made 3 phone calls home, was too many. Okay.
Man. I
Um,
can
I
only
have
imagine.
I have my cousin's son that went in pretty much October of last of no of 2022, April of 2023. He finished. He did the same thing I did.
Hmm.
Let me tell you something. I got phone calls from that kid every week during the week. Times that he should not be making phone calls. Okay, he made phone calls, and I'm like, how the fuck does this happen? It's that it's gotten soft, and he wanted me to go up there for his graduation. So I went up there for his graduation, and I was talking to one of the drill sergeants, and I just told him, I go, this shit is soft compared to when I was here.
Wow.
I don't understand. He just looked at me and goes, sir, everything's changed.
Yeah, man.
I was
I
like,
bet.
no problem. I get it. But it happens.
Yeah, man. It does.
There's nothing we could do about it, you know, but just sit there and go forward, you know.
Well, man. I mean, it's obviously still a um an experience that you'll never forget. And do you feel it benefited you in any way?
The military, yeah,
Yeah.
it did. I mean, I'm willing to say that it did. not gonna say that it made me the man that I am today,
Because
but
that's
I
the
think
hype, right? It's supposed to straighten you out and turn you into a man that you're supposed to be and all that other stuff. And it's like
yeah,
magic. At least that's
you know
what,
what?
we're always told.
It's that it prepares you. It does. That it. Oh, there it is. Sorry. That it gives you a sense of direction. To
It
those
does
that
do
don't
that,
have
huh?
it.
I hear that a
You
lot.
know, it's turned me into the work machine that I am, in a sense. Where it's, hey, what you start, you finish.
Ah, that's
You
good.
know, those aspects, I, I stay with it. And maybe we could touch on this on another show and stuff. But what
Last
the,
question. Well, go ahead, finish.
the biggest issue that people have, that at least I experienced it,
Right.
was transitioning from a
Transitioning
soldier to a
to a
civilian.
civilian. Ah,
That's one of the hardest things to do.
really?
At least for me, it was hard. I think that I stayed in that mindset for a very long time after I
Because
got
you're
out.
always told what to do as a soldier in the and as a civilian, you got to kind of think for yourself. And at first, that's a whole different ball game.
Of course, it is.
Yeah,
And again, I think it all really depends on the rank that you have when you get out. Like I got out as a specialist, right? Where I wasn't, if I remember correctly, I was a team leader at one point. Um, but as you move up in rank, obviously you have your authorities, and you kind of, you do think for yourself, obviously, because it's not like, oh no, you can't think for yourself. Because even as a specialist or private or not, you do think for yourself, and you are able to speak your minds, within the guidelines and the respect of it.
right, right.
You know, but I think one of the hardest things was that they didn't have back then, or maybe they did, and I just didn't take advantage of it. Was when you're transitioning out to get into that mindset of, okay, this is what I have to do, as a civilian. I know nowadays they have a lot of stuff now for transitioning out, because my cousin's son has also told me, no, they have a lot of things. I'm like, perfect, that's great.
Right.
Because you go into a different mindset. You go into a, you know, you change, you evolve as an individual, and your training is some pretty hardcore shit,
Mm,
you know.
I bet. Last
So
question. Last question. In in boot camp, there's this drill that I hear about, the night watch drill. So everybody gets to sleep.
yeah.
One
Uh-huh.
person has to stay awake.
Two people.
Two
I'm
people.
not I don't remember if it was two or one.
All
I
right.
don't remember.
So my question to you is, on the night when it was your turn, or nights, I don't know how many times you had to do it.
A lot.
Okay. Question one is, were you ever able to go to sleep the next day? Not the next day. No, that night. Were you ever able to go to sleep? Did you?
Well, okay, so this is the way that, and in our barracks, right, we had one, two, three, four rows, right?
Okay.
I don't remember how many of us were there. Okay, but at some point during the week, it was you were gonna get called, because you pretty much slept from light time was 2100, and you were up at, like, I think 5 o'clock. So you're talking about what, almost 8 hours, right? So in 8 hours, you had 16 individuals that will pull fire watch that night, right?
Firewatch. There we go. Okay.
Okay. So you had the first two, okay, which were, it's your battle buddy, it's you and your battle buddy. First two, okay, you just walk the halls for an hour. Then you get the other two guys up, okay, walk the halls for them. So that's how that goes. That was done every hour, where you change every hour. Now they also have and they don't do it in basic training, but they do it once you're at your station. They have CQ, company quarters, okay,
All right.
which it's a sergeant and another person that underranks him, all right,
Okay.
that are in charge of the company quarters. They're on the clock for 24 hours. That starts at 6 o'clock in the morning and ends at 6 o'clock in the morning. That next day you're off. So a lot of people, if you're gonna get that CQ desk, you wanted it on a Thursday
Okay.
because then you're off Friday.
Ah, I see. So for those who don't get to go to sleep that night, and I don't know if that ever happened to you or if unless you maybe managed
I
to
pulled
figure out.
I
Say it
pulled
again.
I pulled CQ before,
So you had to stay up all night.
all 24 hours. I just
Final
be up for 24
question.
hours.
Final question then. What was that next day like?
I slept.
No, the day you had to stay awake. What was that like?
Well, that was fucking horrible. Because whatever happens, if something happens, then it sucks because then you gotta fucking go find people, you gotta report it or whatever.
Did it affect your thinking? Could you were you able to think straight? Were you seeing doubles all day? Like, what is that like?
No, not at all. I think the hardest part was probably like the last 3 hours, 4 hours.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's just like
And mind you, it's not like I can stay up 24 hours now. All right. But it's a lot of caffeine. And you know what? Go give me a Monster Energy drink.
yeah, you're
I
right.
could drink those all night long and I'm up.
Right.
Right before it was coffee, and I didn't drink much coffee back then, and I didn't like it much, and it was like, ugh, it really the downer off the coffee will kill me.
Oh,
So
okay.
and maybe I just didn't know how to drink it right,
Right.
you know. So now if I know that I want to stay up all night, I go get a Monster Energy drink or something else. And if I gotta drink coffee, I drink coffee fucking straight through. I finish my cup of coffee, I go and I pour another one. So I'm just on that wireless. I'll have fucking 8 or 9
But you
cups
didn't have that access. You didn't have that access during those 24 hours.
to coffee, yes.
To coffee, yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Even
yeah,
in
to
boot
get
camp?
coffee, no. In basic training, we never did the 24-hour CQ. At least not that I remember. I know I didn't do it in basic training.
I thought it was a basic training thing.
I don't recall it because I never did it.
Okay.
I never did it. Maybe it was done by others, but I don't recall ever doing that in basic training.
Gotcha. All right.
I don't
All
recall doing that in basic training.
Well, thanks for humoring me on that. I was just like, I've always wondered, man, how do they deal with that next day? Like staying up all night with the flashlight, checking everything, and then everybody wakes up and your ass has to join them.
Yeah,
Like, brutal.
Yes.
All right, Frank. Well,
But
take
hey,
it away, brother.
Final thoughts? Listen.
Nothing, man. Good conversation. Good time as always, man. The platform is getting better. The conversations are rolling along nicely. At this point, my studio's done. Yours is almost done.
Yeah.
And we just gotta keep showing up every week.
Yeah, I think we're making legway.
Mm-hmm.
Final thoughts really is keep working our craft, keep doing everything that we've been doing. We're there. One of the biggest things what we gotta do is just be better.
Always.
All right. We're speaking it real. You might agree with what we're speaking, you might disagree with what we're speaking, but I guarantee you that at the end of the night, we are speaking it real. Catch you
Good
guys
night.
next week.
Adios.
Speaking the Real Podcast. Vamos a mandarle ahí a Speaking the Real Podcast. Oye, ¿te enteraste del nuevo podcast? ¿Cuál es? De Speaking Real. Speaking is real, normal. Oye, mi inglés está malo, pero speaking is real es lo mejor, mi hermano. Vengo descargando de antemano para que sepa. Si quiere un poco bueno, mire, speaking, que se respeta. Para que lo sepas, están duros y le meten. Speaking real, pana, no hay billete, pero sí hay talento para demostrar. Y cuando estemos arriba, todito vamos a ayudar.
Thank you for watching. Speaking with You is brought to you by Clovercrest Media. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. You can listen to us wherever you get your podcast. See you next week.